Hi everyone, Christine here at Christine's Craft Table. I am coming to you to finish off our celebration of National Crochet Month. I saw other YouTubers were covering the last several days in one video, so I thought I would do the same since this weekend is Easter. So we will just wrap up all the topics today. We will start with day 28. And the topic is something I'm proud of. Well, making it through this challenge, believe it or not, it required more than I anticipated. More time, more learning how to use a video editor, acquiring a video editor, sharing more about me than I anticipated. And for the most part, that's been good. Like one of my new YouTube friends likes to say, I am what I am. And I am nobody. What credentials do I hold? What right do I have to come and talk about crochet? Well, first and foremost, I am a child of God. I am made in His image and precious to Him. Wow, how validating is that? Credentials. I crochet. I've made some pretty things. They haven't fallen apart in the wash. I've learned a few things worth sharing, I think, especially with new crocheters, those also who've never tried crochet. And you know what? I'm real, at least I try to be. And that's one of the things I love about YouTube. Real people get to share who they are, what they do. They can teach, encourage, inspire, and relate. So watch or don't watch, your choice. That's another cool thing about YouTube. We get to choose among countless channels what we want to watch. And we've come a long way from TV with 4 channels, depending on which ones came in clearly. And I think with that, I have officially gone down a bunny trail. So with that, I challenge you. What are you proud of today? Day 29, newest make. Well, for that, I get to share with you my Boggy style blanket, the first for 2024. The collection doesn't actually begin till August, so I'm a little ahead of the game this year. I don't have a personal goal as far as how many blankets I will donate this year. I may try and double what I did last year, since the Boggy Brigade, led by Nancy at She's Got Yarn Too, has doubled their goal. Last year they raised just over 1,000 blankets, and this year I think I heard that the goal will be 2024 for 2024. Whew. So if I made 4 blankets last year, that would mean 8 this year. I don't know. I think I may just shoot for the 4, and anything over that will be a bonus. If you don't know yet about the Boggy Creek Camp and the annual blanket collection, I'll put a link to a great video recapping last year's effort, and you can always get more information from Nancy on her channel, so I'll link that as well in the description box. So back to blanket number 1, my newest make. This is a crochet along with Jax at Creations by Jax. If you've seen my favorite blanket video, I think I called it I Love This Blanket, you know that how much I enjoyed Jax's pattern that she developed for last year. She has only released part 1 and 2 so far, so that's all I've completed. I think there's 5 parts total. So this is what I have so far. And it is 100% cotton, which I love. I love the feel of cotton. It's a 14-inch square so far. And I wanted to use all 4-weight yarn, but I didn't have enough for the a good colorway that I could pick out. So I did use some 3-weight yarns, and for those I held 2 strands together. So I'm excited. I really love this pattern, and I think it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to get the next part so I can continue. And that is my newest make, or half make so far. Day 30, frog / oopsie daisy. Well, my biggest frog so far was a blanket I started with Karen's Simply Soft yarn. Here's the story. I got this yarn in a mystery box. For my birthday last year, I bought 4 mystery boxes, and these were the first mystery boxes I'd ever bought. 2 were from Joann's and 2 were from Webb's. The colors from Joann's were quite interesting. I'll show them to you. We have lime, super duper yellow, and Himalayan salt, which is this speckled yarn. The good news is I had never used Karen's Simply Soft, and I fell in love with it. It is a beautiful, soft acrylic yarn with a really nice weight to it. The bad news, I now had 6 skeins of each of these colors, none of which I really would have chosen myself. 1,410 yards of the Himalayan salt and 1,890 yards of each the lime and super duper yellow. But back to the frog. So I loved the feel of the yarn so much. I had a plan for the yellow and the green. And with the speckled, I decided to make a baby blanket since it was so soft. I chose a stitch that I had recently learned. It was the wattle stitch. And the blanket was looking okay, but it kept starting to go crooked on me. I would somehow add or subtract stitches. So I was having to count all the stitches in every row as soon as I finished it. That was frustrating. And the busyness of this yarn used all by itself, I guess some people would like it, but for me, I wasn't loving it. So I finally threw in the towel. And this is how far I got, about 25 or 30%. So I just couldn't go on. I may eventually make a blanket with this. And if I do, I will probably combine it with 1 or 2 solid colors to offset the busyness. I think that would really make it shine. And the good thing is that Karen's Simply Soft comes in so many different colors. So I'm glad I frogged it when I did, though, because if I had not, I'm sure it would probably still be sitting in a project bag somewhere in perpetual timeout. And that is my frog story. And for the last day, day 31, the topic is anything. Well, I am going to give you a non-crochet related treat. I would like to introduce you to our dogs, Bodhi and Bella. We came upon these 2 precious little beings at a shelter several years ago. Now, we've always had Chihuahuas. When our last one passed away and we were ready to adopt some new pups, we started our search. Unfortunately, this was around the time of the big lockdown. And there was apparently a run on Chihuahuas because there were none to be found in any of the shelters in our area. Finally, we found this pair at a shelter about 2 hours away. And all we really had to go by was the photos online. And the description did say that they were part Chihuahua. Ha ha ha. Well, we drove down to take a look at them and immediately could see that these were not Chihuahuas at all. No part, I'm sure. They were actually very much bigger than Chihuahuas, probably about 3 times the size of our Chihuahuas. We stood there thinking and thinking and finally decided that we would take them home. They seemed really sweet and they liked us. And the clincher was, when I went out to the truck to get my wallet, the dogs ran out the side of the building to their yard area where there was a chain link fence and they could see me. And they both started crying. Well, they had me. I just have to say that these 2 dogs are a gift. Yes, they are more work, especially for my husband, who is the only one who can lift them, and he does their walking. They can be very strong when they pull together, and even worse when they pull in different directions. But they are also today the most well-behaved dogs that we have ever owned. Oh, they have their quirks, but we grant them grace because we don't know what their lives were like before we got them. And they are a joy. They have really captured our hearts. Here they are, having some fun. And yes, the yard is filled with toys, and sometimes it's covered in puffs of stuffing. But they no longer chew on furniture. They no longer chew on the bedding or play tug of war with the sheets. And they are always delighted when we arrive home with something soft that squeaks. So enjoy. Mama's boy. Mama's boy. Mama's boy. Yeah, boy. Give me this one. Give me this one. This one. This one. This one. Good girl. Good boy. Mama's babies.